You know how on most DVDs, most games that you get physically, there's a label on it that kind of explains the age rating for who should be watching it? They've kind of introduced that to Roblox, and I'll quickly demonstrate what that looks like. If we take a look at the game we're currently playing, if we zoom in, we can see at the bottom, it says all ages, suitable for everyone. It also says all ages here. Now what we can do, we can click on this, age recommendations. Now if we zoom in, let me just quickly go through this. Roblox's age recommendations were created so all users can make an informed decision about the content they interact with. And to do that, they have determined the suitability of content for each age category by examining global industry standards and consulted child development experts to guide our policy making. And down here are all the categories. We can see all ages. Content is generally suitable for all ages. Obviously, you understand what that means. That means anyone who makes an account, no matter if they're 0 years old, 92, they should be able to play the game. And that also means there should be light, unrealistic blood. So I'm assuming building games where it's just kind of passive, there's no violence at all, is going to be all ages, which, because that is the rating for this game, I see that kind of being a thing. I mean, you are able to explode people's carts, which, I mean, it's a bit questionable. I'm not sure if that would be suitable for a 2-year-old, but for the most part, I think this would be an all ages game. 9+, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory who it's meant for. We can see age 9 and over, may contain frequent mild violence and heavy unrealistic blood. And then 13+, as I assume most of you would be, content is generally suitable for 13 and up. I guess that's the same for every single thing, it's just whatever that age is. May contain frequent moderate violence and light realistic blood. So I think that would be your really realistic games of, you know, shooting people and doing all that kind of stuff on Roblox. Now keep in mind that at the end of the day, it's still Roblox. Don't think that Roblox is pushing out this update so that they can release, you know, extremely dark games with, you know, so much blood and so much violence everywhere. I don't think Roblox is heading towards that. People have also suggested that because there's 9+, 13+, people think there will be a 17+ or 18+, which I really don't think is going to happen. But now that means that if you go to parental controls, you can see a new menu which is allowed experiences. So below this you can see 13+, 9+, all ages. So what would happen is that if you had a strict parent, someone who wanted to actually control what you're viewing online, they could set this to whatever they wanted. If they wanted you to play 13+ games, 9+ games, or only games for all ages. So I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be a huge deal, because I'm pretty sure most games would still fall under the all ages or the 9+. You know, if you're playing a first-person shooter with realistic blood, you're probably not playing Roblox, okay? I don't think Roblox is the most ideal platform currently to play these first-person really realistic games. But I think now we should just take a look at some of the popular games, what their ratings are, so you can get an idea of what the criteria for Roblox's aging system is and how they actually decide what is 13+, what is 9+, and what is for all ages. So we already looked at Cart Ride Around Nothing. Let's take a look at my probably favorite game on this website, Welcome to Bloxburg. All ages. It's a building game. I'm surprised that it says violence mild/infrequent. This game has like 0 violence unless you call ramming into people with a car violence, which I highly doubt that. I think that Jailbreak would be a bit more of a confusing game because you can shoot cops. It kind of does send a weird message, you know, something you might not want younger kids to think is okay to do, like shooting police. All ages. Violence mild/infrequent. Exactly the same as Bloxburg. Very confusing. Now Arsenal is a more cartoony shooting game. There's guns, you can shoot other people in the game, and guess what? It's ages 9+. Now I'm not sure if people under 9 are playing Arsenal, but if you are, this might be a bit of a deal breaker, obviously, because you wouldn't be able to play the game. You can see there is very little blood. It's very splashy. You can barely see it there. I think the most realistic part of Arsenal is just the body, like, falling over once it dies. As you can see here, there we go. This guy is just lying straight on the floor, but, you know, he might be sleeping. Who knows? Now, another tricky game that a lot of people might not really know what the rating would be is Phantom Forces. Now, Phantom Forces is a much older game, and it does have a little more realistic blood. I mean, there are like blood splashes on the floor, but it's definitely not realistic or anything. I would say that it is still a bit to the cartoony side, but it definitely is more realistic compared to Arsenal. Anyway, scrolling down, age guidelines non-assessed. So that means that obviously it hasn't been assessed yet. I'm sure take a bit of time. Roblox will actually put a age on this. I'm sure it'll be the same as Arsenal 9+. I'm not sure if any games will actually fit into the 13+ bracket. There aren't really that many, but I'm sure just wait a few days until Roblox really rolls this thing out, and they should have an age guideline for most of the popular games. So Bunker Hill is a game I just found on the game page, and this is also 9+. It's supposed to have violence, mild/frequent. We can see here, they are holding guns. It does look pretty realistic from the photo. I'm not sure how realistic it is in the game, but I would understand why this should be 9+. The last one I'll just look at is Bed Wars. Bed Wars is all ages. I'd say that most games, you know, these fighting kind of team games, they're all either going to be 9+ or for all ages. I'd say Bed Wars should be for all ages though, as it's very unrealistic, as it's supposed to simulate the Minecraft version. You can see it's very Minecraft-like, so there isn't really any proper violence in the game. So to summarize this entire video, I think that unless you have very strict parents that don't want you to play any games above all ages, this update really won't affect you, because most games from what I've seen either are all ages or 9+, and I'm assuming that most of you out there playing Roblox right now are above the age of 9, and even though I haven't seen any 13+ games yet, I'm sure there are a few that will come in the future, or I'll eventually find one of them. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, see you guys later, goodbye.